And straight into this Friday Night SmackDown review, the February 9th edition, I believe. I'm recording this on like Saturday morning, so you'll probably see this later in the day Saturday. It's like 8 o'clock right now. 8, 9 o'clock. Yeah, anyways, getting straight into this Friday Night SmackDown review, February 9th edition of Friday Night SmackDown. We get straight into a recap of Thursday's press conference. If you didn't see the press conference, I'll give you basically the recap of, the major thing that everybody's talking about, that main event segment with Rock, Seth, Roman, and Cody. It basically starts with Seth coming out. He doesn't really say much, but he did come out and show his face, I guess. That's the best way to put it. He came out and showed his face, and then I think he called out Cody, I believe, and then Roman came out. And then Roman just said, "Get this bum off stage." Seth, which he just keeps disrespecting him and his title, and that's just so funny. He basically said he chooses The Rock at WrestleMania to fight in the main event, and The Rock comes out. Rock says a couple things, and I don't know what it is about The Rock, but it's either he's forcing himself to sound really bad on the mic, or he just doesn't care. It's something off about when he speaks on the mic. It's like I feel like he doesn't want the crowd to boo him. I feel like he wants to, like, what happened. Like, I feel like he wants them to be surprised when he does something heelish, and it's like a lot of these people are not surprised, bro. I'm not gonna say people don't care, but a lot of these people are not surprised. But he just said something about Cody crybabies, and he's trying to get that to catch on, and it's not there. Come out of you. That's not it, bro. That catchphrase that you think you about to bring on, that's not it. He basically shows the Samoan family legacies, like a family tree. Him and Roman, like, I guess, dap up, which made it very weird in context. It made it very weird to see him dap up and hug. It's like, what was that? Don't y'all hate each other? Don't y'all want to fight for who's ahead of the table? Then Cody comes out and said, "That's enough. Enough of that." He basically said, "I'm choosing, and I'm choosing Roman to fight. I'm choosing to fight Roman, basically." And it's like, bro, come on, like, make the right decision. Made the right decision, and Cody says something about both of their grandfathers, and The Rock steps in and a very serious tone. This one he got like serious, and this one he sounded more believable. Everything he was saying before. This is why I think he wanted people to like be surprised when he did this. And he steps very slowly towards Cody, and he said, "When you talk about his grandfather, you're talking about my grandfather. We respect his family. You're disrespecting my family." And something about they have a problem now. And he smacks Cody, which was a very holy shit moment. Like, this seems like a little real. And then they separate them. Seth, one thing about Seth, he is very, very good at, like, seeming like he's really pissed. Like, he's very good at that. Like he seemed like he wanted to fight somebody. Both of them, maybe. But then it cuts to Triple H moments later, backstage, and they interview him and say, "What was that about?" Basically, they basically just said, "What was that about?" And he says, he basically said what I'd be saying, a lot of moving, when you don't know what's going on, a lot of moving parts. We haven't been paying attention for a little bit. There was a lot of moving parts, a lot of emotions ran wild out there. Basically that. And Rock, Roman, and Heyman walked by. And he said, "That's what's going to happen when you talk shit about my family," basically. And he said, "If you don't fix it, I'll fix it." Then Rock walks away. Roman says something to Triple H, and I don't really remember what he said. That's basically a recap of that. So that was that, right? The show opens now. Triple H comes to the ring. He comes to the ring with, no, he doesn't come to the ring with, but he comes to the ring and is already Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce in the ring. So they're there. So it's like it's an announcement type of thing. And Triple H basically addresses what happens, what happened on Thursday. He didn't give you a recap, but he basically give his remarks. He basically gave his like official response to The Rock, kind of, because there was a lot of shots at The Rock in this. Triple H says, "I need to clear the air because people around here, mainly speaking about The Rock, feel like they have power and authority that they don't really have." And I really like that line because that's how you feel. Like you feel like I understand Rock is a board member, and like we don't know how high of a board member he is. They're really playing into the storyline of him being a board member, which I kind of like when they like add realism, like real life things into storylines, and they mix it together. And I think this is gonna mix really well. But I'm just scared that The Rock is gonna do something to Cody to cost him again. And if Cody loses at WrestleMania again, there's no like this is over, bro. Like you can't lose 2 times in a row like WrestleMania to the same guy and think you're gonna get a third shot. Maybe you win Money in the Bank, but like let's not get to that point though. Like for real, let's not get to that point. He basically just doubled down on his statement of him saying that he has no authority or power to say what goes. He says the answers come from one place and one place only, and that place is him. Which, like, he's basically shitting on him, saying, like, hey, I have a higher rank than you, and I could oversee whatever you think you might be able to authoritate. Which, once again, a little realism to tell them, no, like, listen, I've been here for a little while, and I got a little more pull than you. I know these people, like, like, that's a little slight, little slight. Basically clarifies, like right out just says it, that the main event for WrestleMania is going to be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. He doesn't clarify what night, which I don't ever think they really did. So maybe I'm just looking too deep into that, but he does clarify that that is going to be the main event. And he says some people in the back, speaking of The Rock and maybe Roman too, uh, they do, they don't want this, nor they do, they don't want this main event, nor do they like this main event. And it doesn't matter what they like. Kind of like, flipping a Rock line on himself. So I like that again. Like, please show him The Rock. He's like, get out of here, bro. Like, I don't, no, I don't want him here. And he basically has Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce announce that for the for the men's elimination chamber, the winner will face Rollins at WrestleMania. Which, once again, I like to hear that. That's just it's a wonderful thing. And the participants are, I can't really remember off the top of my head. Randy Orton, Bronson Reed, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, AJ Styles, The Miz, Bobby Lashley, Ivar, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Dominic Mysterio, and L.A. Knight. Now, if I had to pick, 6 people to be in here, just off the top of my head, I don't know, because that's an interesting pool of competitors. I think I would pick Drew, Sammy, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. Was that 6? And AJ Styles. Did I say AJ Styles? But yeah, those are the people I would pick. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, LA Knight, Drew, and Sammy. The rest, like, you guys don't really need to be in here. Like, the Miz don't need to be in here. Logan Paul don't need to be in here. In the chamber, I mean. Bobby Lashley, not really. Ivar, not really. And Dom, nah. Like, I want actual competitors that could potentially win. Like, I'm tired of it just being kind of pointless, pointless shits. And they basically announced the first match of the night, which is Drew versus AJ Styles, which is, that's a good starter match. And just, I like when qualifying matches have 2 competitors that you know that could like legit be in the match. That's always fun. Drew basically comes down and he cuts a promo saying You guys can thank him for influencing Cody to pick to face Roman and finish his story. And then he basically says now he can focus on his story of of winning the World Heavyweight Championship from Seth Rollins, and y'all can have a champion that you're truly proud of, a champion that's best for business. Which I did like. He added that line in there. I always liked the best for business line. It was always good to me. And then AJ Styles comes out, and then right before the match is gonna start, did I say AJ Styles? I feel like I said LA Knight, but LA Knight comes down also after AJ Styles makes his entrance, and right before the match is gonna start, and LA Knight is on commentary. So even before the match starts, good. I like where this is headed. And I said, I wrote something about notes that like, oh, this is just a 2K. This is a 2K ass match. This is a universe ass match because this is the same thing they do in universe mode. Like, anytime you're in a rivalry with someone and you have a one-on-one match, right before the match starts, their music hits and they're just sitting next to the commentary table, and then they somehow interfere. And this is a 2K ass match, so you could tell which way this is going. But this was a pretty good match. Drew goes for avalanche white noise off the top rope, well, really second rope. AJ reverses it, hits a power bomb for a kick out at. So I thought that was a pretty cool spot, pretty interesting spot to get it started. That's not the beginning of the match, but that's just like where we're at. This was an interesting twist in the match when after that Drew hits a future shock DDT. Does his usual kip up because that's what he does. He does super DDT and he does kip up. But this time when he did a kip up, he kind of tweaked his knee, which I thought was an interesting twist. Kind of for no reason. Then AJ locks in the calf crusher. Drew gets to the ropes to break up the submission. Oh, that's not what happened. Actually, he did the kip up. He tweaked his knee. He goes for a claymore, and then Drew misses, and then he locks in a calf crusher and goes to the rope. I kind of missed that major part of him trying to hit the claymore and missing. How did I forget that? And a pretty another interesting spot. AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm, and Drew right before he's about to jump, as he's about to jump and jump off the rope, he catches him in place and hits him with a Glasgow kiss and knock him out the ring, which I thought was a pretty interesting spot. And then Drew throws AJ kinda into LA Knight. He doesn't hit LA Knight, but he kinda lands next to LA Knight as he's sitting, and LA Knight kinda spills some water on him. And then AJ gets up as LA Knight is she's trying to hand him the water, he wants some water. Then AJ smacks the water out of his hand. Drew just basically pushes AJ into LA Knight. Then that becomes a little thing. I don't remember how they get back in the ring, but eventually they do get back in the ring after that little situation. AJ rolls up Drew, but the problem with that is LA Knight trying to enter the ring, and the referee's distracted, so he can't get the 2 count. And I guess AJ hits him down. Yeah, I think that's what happened. AJ hits LA Knight down, off the rope, and then he turns around and Drew hits a claymore. 1, 2, 3. Drew qualifies for Elimination Chamber, which I thought was a pretty interesting match. I think it was just standard. It was nothing too crazy. It had some interesting spots in there for me, like the tweaking of the knee, which added a little something for me, and then avalanche to the power bomb, and then the phenomenal forms to the Glasgow kick, shit like that added a little something to me. So I guess it would be a 3.2, 3.4 ish. It's close to 3.5 stars for me. We go backstage where Sami Zayn has a backstage interview with I always want to say Samantha Irving, but everybody can't be Samantha Irving. This is it's not Jackie Redmond either. I forget this. Her face is very familiar, but I just never remember her name. You know what they should do one day? Put they did this before with they should put a woman on commentary, but it got to be someone good. But I don't think no. Let me not say that. Anyways. He basically says he was in the main event of WrestleMania last year, and this year that window is closing very, very quickly. He said he has a tough path to, get to have a Mania match, but is a path nonetheless. I do like when I would say players, when superstars be like, I don't know if I'm having a match at Mania this year. When they're like one of the top stars, I'm like, that'd be crazy if you don't have a match at Mania this year. Call Johnny Knoxville again, have that match. That would be fun. Turn heel, that'd be fun too. And they basically recapped that damage control segment. Like I said, I didn't review SmackDown last week because on Monday that was my first review. So, it was basically Bayley coming out being like, she loved damage control, and they basically just turned on her. I don't. There's not much. I like the segment, but I didn't write much down, so it's not like I'm not remembering much from it. They basically turned on her, and she basically seen it coming. She took out a pipe and hit Io, Kairi Sane, and Asuka, basically. So that was that. It was, cute little recap. Bianca Belair versus Michin for a Money in the Bank qualifying match. This match wasn't bad, but it was like a 3 flat or like a barely 3, like a 2.9, 2.8 type of match. It wasn't bad by any means, but it was okay. Michin goes for a no. I think Bianca goes for a KOD near the ropes, and then Michin reverses it, hits a eat the feet, puts her outside, like it knocks her outside the ring. So she goes outside the ring, throws her back in, goes for some type of move. I don't really know what move this was supposed to be. It looked like she was going for like a razor's edge type of thing. And I was really confused. I really want to see that move. I'm like, what move is this? Maybe it's a Styles Clash. I don't really know what it is. But she said like she yelled like too sweet. So I was like, maybe it's a Styles Clash. Maybe it's a Razor's Edge. Both. Don't know how that would work, but maybe. And then Bianca basically reverses it. KOD ends the match. She's in the chamber. It wasn't really nothing to this match. Really, there was really like there's nothing like. It was a very predictable winner and it wasn't such a predictable finish, but it was just a quick match, just nothing to it. That's all I gotta say about that. Nothing to it. We have another backstage segment. I feel like we're having a lot of backstage segments like on SmackDown because maybe because last week I didn't see no backstage segments on Raw because I fell asleep during it, and this week I'm getting to see like a lot of backstage segments. But this backstage segment is with Braun Breaker, Triple H. They're there. Triple H is saying like how proud of him he is. I couldn't say that sentence for a minute. How proud of him he is, and how about his success that he's seen so far. And Braun Breaker was basically asking like he doesn't know what to choose between SmackDown or Raw, so he clearly hasn't chose yet. Doesn't get an answer because he's shortly interrupted by Paul Heyman, he said something about Braun Breaker like, what a great kid from a family of interesting people, something like that. And I was like, okay, I guess. Way to disrespect his family. Triple H is not in the mood. He's like, what do you want? And Paul Heyman says, you know what? You're right. It's not a good time. We'll come back to this next week. When I'm with Roman Reigns. And he comes back. And he says, and The Rock. So, confirmed for next week is Roman Reigns and The Rock on the show next week. You know what's so funny about not that segment, but just this show overall? It had literally nobody that was involved in that press conference. Had no Rock, had no Roman, had no Cody, and it had no Seth. Obviously, he's a Raw superstar, but had none of these people. So it was like Triple H was just left to. He opened the show and he had that segment, and that was all that was really of anything. Like nothing else really came about that, which I found, I don't know, a little anticlimactic from such a monumental press conference. But I digress. Bailey comes out, and I like this version. I like a face Bailey. Heel Bailey is cool, but I like a face Bailey a little bit more just because she's an easy person to cheer for. She basically comes out and says she probably should have seen it coming about how Damage Control was treating her, and she should have seen them turning on her. But even though they turned on her, or even though she should have seen it coming, she believed in that team. She believed in this team. She loved those women. She basically just runs down how she's gonna beat Io, and Io's gonna learn the hard way. And then Dakota comes out of nowhere. Dakota just comes away to the ring, say, I've been trying to text you all week. What have you been ghosting me? You've been ignoring me." And Bailey's very confused because it's like you're clearly still part of Damage Control. Like you wasn't there last week, and she's like, "Where was you?" She was getting cleared by doctors because if you didn't know, she teared her ACL somewhere around last year. Don't really remember when she did that, but yeah, she tore ACL around somewhere around last year, and she's getting cleared. So I was getting cleared about doctor's appointment, whatever. And Billy just asked her straight up, like, "Where do you stand then?" And before she could say anything, there you go. It comes out, hits Io Shirai's music. There you go, Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, and Asuka. They make their way to the ring. Both Dakota and Bailey look very confused as the rest of Damage Control is surrounding Bailey around the ring. Dakota Kai basically leaves the ring, and it's like, oh, okay, she's just gonna let her get jumped, which is fucking crazy. As the rest of Damage Control is about to enter the ring, Dakota Kai comes back with a chair, and she's about to hit Bailey, and then she kind of like swings on the rest of the women outside the ring, clearing the ring. And they look confused. They both looked at each other very confused. Like, why did you do that? The crowd was chanting, "Hug it out," but they did not hug. They just stand there with the "I don't even know what just happened" face. Why did we just do that? It was very like, I know what the segment wanted to like do, but it just I think it kind of did achieve that because it's like, oh, you kind of gave Bailey a friend. But it's so long until like WrestleMania that they would kind of. This is setting up for a 3-on-3 at Elimination Chamber, I think. But who's gonna be the third? Like a lot of people saying Sasha, but I don't think Sasha. Not that Sasha's not coming to WWE, which I do hope she does, but I don't think that's happening. Not an Elimination Chamber though. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. You know what they could do? Because I think it's like 2 weeks away from Elimination Chamber. What they could do next week with a segment, this is just me fancy booking, something really quick. They could be like, they want to face them in Elimination Chamber, and you have to find a partner, basically. So that could be setting up like them find a partner. If they don't find a partner, it's going to be a 3-on-2 handicap match. And then on that Friday, when it's like the week of the Elimination Chamber, you can do something to where that show is built around like, we still don't have a partner, we still don't know who to choose, and then that's when you can bring Sasha back. If you want, I think it would be a good pop, but I don't know, saving her for WrestleMania, like if you're gonna bring Sasha in, saving her for WrestleMania I think is a smart choice. That's just me, but I wouldn't be mad if they bring her in at Elimination Chamber. Wouldn't be bad. Match of the night is Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne versus DIY. Not gonna lie to you, I didn't write any notes for this match. I was just enjoying it because it had so many good spots. Can I tell you those spots? No. I'd rather you just go watch it yourself. It was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. Very high pace. From the very jump, it was very back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Big spot here, big spot. I enjoyed it. And basically Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne won. They will face Judgment Day at Elimination Chamber, which I'm not mad at. What do you do with DIY here? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing with them. So Dom basically has a backstage interview. He comes in and he says, Um, he's going to qualify Elimination Chamber. He's going to win the Chamber, and he's going to have matching titles with Rhea, which I think in an alternative universe, pretty cool. It'll be pretty cool if he does that. Pretty cool. I would like that a lot. But Byron Saxton's like, you don't even know who you're facing, and then Aranda Kevin Owens appears. He's facing Kevin Owens next week on SmackDown. I was like, on Raw? Nope. On SmackDown. Facing Kevin Owens next week on SmackDown. And then Kevin Owens said he's dedicating this match to the greatest luchador of all time, Rey Mysterio, his father. Obviously, not Kevin Owens' father. Dom's father, Rey Mysterio. And which I thought was, kind of funny. Not hilarious, but I thought it was kind of funny. Now R-Truth came in and I don't even remember what he said. I'm not gonna lie. When R-Truth just comes in, I check out. And then they showed a graphic for some matches that's gonna happen. There's gonna be Bobby Lashley versus Bronson Reed on Raw, and LA Knight versus Ivor on Raw this Monday. Logan Paul versus The Miz, and then Kevin Owens versus Dominic Mysterio. Which is funny enough, 'cause I think that was the next segment on the thing. Basically, the next segment was Logan Paul. He goes into the GM's office where Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are just there, and he's complaining about why does he have to qualify? He's already qualified. Like, if you're qualified, you don't have to qualify. It was some witty line he had there that just wasn't really funny. And he said, fine, I'll qualify. It doesn't really matter who I'm facing anyways. And he says he's facing The Miz. I don't know if they were expecting a pop there, but it's still the fucking Miz at the end of the day. I guess because they have history, they think, like, people would want to see that. I guess, bro. So, yeah, that basically, they showed that graphic after that, actually. I kind of skipped ahead a little bit. They showed the graphic after that. And then, here's your main event. Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn, which I thought was an okay TV match. Pretty good. It wasn't too special, too crazy. So getting straight into the good stuff. Randy knocked Sami out the ring somehow. Forget how they got outside the ring, but they're outside the ring at this point. And Randy is about to hit Sami with that little backdrop on the table he usually does. But Sami backflips out of it, reverses it, and hits the backdrop to Randy, which looked like it kind of hurt him a lot. Can't lie to you. It looked like he was in some real pain after that. And then, like, a little later in the match, they come back in the ring. They're going back and forth, and then Randy hits a superplex that once again looked like it hurt him more than it hurt Sami. For the rest of the match, he was kind of like holding his lower back, which either is incredible selling of your own move that you're doing, or you kind of really hurt your back. And it's not like a major hurt, but it's like you kind of definitely tweaked your back a little bit. And then Orton basically has a comeback spot where he hits the clothesline, power slam. Is it a power slam? I think it's a power slam. Clothesline, power slam, and then he goes for the DDT. Sami dumps him out the outside. Suicide dives him into like around the announce table, and then he was trying to do something, but Randy reverses it and then hits him with a backdrop driver on the table. So he kind of got his little, revenge there. Throws him back in the ring. DDT. Goes for the RKO, but Sami reverses it into a roll-up for 2. And then Randy goes for like an immediate another RKO. And then Sami reverses it into a Blue Thunder Bomb, which I thought was a really good spot. Like, I was like, it would be cool if he did that, and then he did it. I was like, oh shit, he did a thing that my brain thought he could do. Cool. And then Sami Irish whips Randy into like the ropes, and then, or maybe it was the other round. Maybe Randy Irish whipped Sami Zayn, but he kind of did something where he kind of like jumped off the bottom rope and went backwards, and then Randy caught him with an RKO for the win. Like, I was kind of expecting more from that match, but I guess it did what it needed to do. It was like a 10-minute match. Wasn't really, outside of the spots I just told you, Wasn't much else in the match. Randy qualifies. Sammy just walks out the ring, just heads to the back in disappointment because he's like, this was his way to get into WrestleMania. He's not getting into WrestleMania. So it's like, what is Sammy gonna do? Like, what are they doing with Sammy at this point? He has such a good 2023 from being involved with the Bloodline for most of the year, really elevating the Bloodline, honestly, and then now it's like not much. Let me not stop there. Elevating the Bloodline, being in the Bloodline, uh, having that match, turning on Roman at the Royal Rumble after he beat Kevin Owens, and then him and Kevin Owens reuniting, and and then fight Roman at Elimination Chamber, him and Kevin Owens reuniting, and then him and Kevin Owens beating the Usos for the tag team, the undisputed tag team title. That was a beautiful year for Sammy, and then now it's like not so much as, I know the year just started, but not so. It's not even like the year. It's like since then. It's really like since they lost the tag team titles and like, I don't remember when they lost it, but I feel like they had it like around Money in the Bank and lost it around there. Ever since then, nothing has really. There's been nothing really for him. Like, I mean, he had a match against Rollins, and yeah, it's just. I think it's time for him to turn heel. Go back to heel, man. He's a good face, good baby face, but I don't know. I don't know what you do with Sammy at this point. But the match ends. Randy celebrates, and somehow, some way, Drew McIntyre appeared. I don't know if he walked past Sammy or he came through the crowd, but somehow Drew McIntyre appears in the ring, and they have a stare down to close the show. I'll be honest with you. It was a good. It was a good SmackDown. I think SmackDown has like way better storylines going for them than Raw. They probably do have better superstars on Raw, but I think SmackDown is like, whoever's writing the SmackDowns are really like keyed in with these storylines. I think it was a lot of good wrestling on the show, really. I think that's what it was. Like on Raw, there was a few stinkers, but every match outside of that Michin and Bianca match, pretty damn good, and I enjoyed it. But that is gonna do it. That is the end of this SmackDown review. I feel like it was a pretty quick one, but you know, it was. This is what you get when you get like an hour show, I guess. Not an hour show, a 2 hour show. That's gonna do it for me. If you enjoy, leave a like, subscribe for more reviews. We will be back here for Monday Night Raw. And in the future, will I do pay-per-views? I don't know, honestly, bro. Because I don't know. I'll have to see. I feel like I could, but the reason why it's going to be difficult for me to do pay-per-views in the future, because the pay-per-views are usually on Sundays. Let's just say it's always on Sunday, except for the WrestleMania. And the WrestleMania, it's like, that's going to be a difficult one. Because it's going to be like, I have to watch the 2 pay-per-views. It's not like I can't. I don't know if I'll do pay-per-views. The way the schedule is, I'll probably talk about the pay-per-views on the following Raw. I'll probably mix the pay-per-views in the Raw review. Maybe do a little recap in there. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know what y'all think. How would y'all want it? But yeah, it's gonna do it for me. Peace.